Hi guys! Are you a fan of Iron Man? But also Captain America? Maybe even the Hulk? How about Spider-Man? Not these losers! And who could forget the Guardians of the Galaxy? Well, that's great, because I'm a big fan of them too. Let's review! Hello everybody! This is something a little bit different. I'm going to be reviewing the third episode of Marvel's What If. I'm a little bit late to the party, obviously. I can go back and review the first episode and the second episode if you'd like. Overall, I think that they're really, really good, and I recommend you that you check it out. If you're a Marvel fan, then you should watch probably everything Marvel, except maybe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and some of the... I mean, I don't even know how canon they really are, so yeah, don't worry about them. But Marvel's What If, yeah, very cool. And because of all the multiverse stuff that's kind of happening and going to be happening in the future, or so it would seem, we don't really know what storylines that they could use from this in the actual live action films, and also the characters or series or whatever. So I think that you've got to stay educated, and this is one of the ones that you should watch because it could tie in a number of different ways. They're really fun. The first episode started off a little bit more basic, just to kind of ease us into this. It wasn't like a major change, I don't think. It wasn't too crazy to get your head around. The second episode was a little bit more like this small change made pretty big differences. For example, Thanos not trying to eradicate half the universe's population. Anyway, not the actual whole universe. So that's quite a big deal, and there's a lot of other things that come of that. One of the best things about these shows is that most of the original cast members return to do the voices of these animated characters, which is really, really cool. And of course, there will be spoilers for, well, all of them, I guess, but mostly episode 3, because that's the one that I'm focusing on. So if you do not want spoilers and you're still watching, then you know what? You can leave! Get the fuck out of here! Have you left yet? Okay, great. So the big thing about this episode is that basically the Avengers just fucking die. All of them. Before they become Avengers. Iron Man was iron damned. Thor was no more. Hawkeye went bye-bye. The Hulk put on bulk, ballooned, and went kaboom. Who writes this stuff? And Black Widow, she also died. Or did she? And so, yeah, it was a pretty dark version of events. It was really cool seeing certain scenes from the various different films, like Iron Man 2, when he's in the big donut. Nick Fury trying to recruit Iron Man. There was also a scene from The Incredible Hulk, and it was really interesting seeing him, the Hulk dude, voiced by Mark Ruffalo, because of course that was an earlier version of Hulk, and he was not the voice in that particular film, but he's obviously been the Hulk in every other version. So that was pretty odd. We also saw his pizza delivery disguise from that film, which was very, very interesting. Quite a cool little detail. And it was, yeah, basically a murder mystery. And I didn't try and think about who the murderer was, the guy that was going around killing all of these Avengers before they could become Avengers. I was just kind of just not thinking about it too much. I was just along for the journey. But I mean, I guess you'd kind of think, what villain would be capable of all of these really mysterious murders? But it turns out which I don't think many people would have just guessed or worked out, that it was actually Hank Pym, and mainly because we don't know a motivation for him to do any of this until it's already revealed that it's him. And basically, Hope, his daughter, is killed while working for S.H.I.E.L.D. And of course, he gets pretty vengeful about that, and he wants to take down S.H.I.E.L.D. by killing all of their top guys before they become top guys. And yeah, that was really interesting. A pretty interesting choice. I know in the comics he has had a few storylines where he's a much darker character. He loses his mind a little bit. And he's not always the great guy that we know in the Ant-Man films. And also, he looked like he was dressed as the Yellow Jacket. Which obviously it's not the first time we've seen that suit in a lot of the comics. He does actually dresses up in that suit. It's not just Ant-Man 1, where it's... What's his name? The dude from House of Cards. That guy. That one. I'm blanking on the character's name now, which is terrible. But anyway, forgive me, please. I am a big fan of Marvel. I showed you all my artwork at the beginning, so please believe me. We got Tom Hiddleston back, Hiddleston back. Samuel Jackson, of course, he's always down. Jeremy Renner, and I thought it was funny that Hawkeye kills Thor accidentally, and they do explain it that Hank, as Ant-Man, very, very tiny Ant-Man, makes him slip the arrow and kill him, but Hawkeye is not that great anyway. They should have just had it that Hawkeye killed him accidentally and it was all his fault, because that would have been believable. I would have just believed that. And Hawkeye dies, which, oh well, what a big loss for S.H.I.E.L.D. Just kidding, Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. And it was pretty cool, Loki being involved. He comes down to get revenge for his brother, Thor's death. And so he kind of joins up with Nick Fury to find out who was actually responsible for the death, which, of course, was Hawkeye. And then at the end, because the Avengers don't exist anymore, he decides to stay on Earth for a little bit longer as their ruler, which is pretty cool with all of the Asgardian troops. And Coulson actually has a really good line. Nick asks if the people that Loki and the people that he has with him, his soldiers, look like they're from Earth. And Coulson goes, Middle Earth? Which, of course, Lord of the Rings, which is also a franchise that I'm very, very invested in. So, any videos you want me to do with that, I'm more than happy to do. That was a good line. I also feel like Loki kind of did everyone a favour by killing Coulson in the first Avengers film to stop him sniffing all of those corpses, which was really, really weird scene. Played for comedy value, but still, that's a normal human being actually doing that. I don't care how good the corpse smells. Stop inhaling corpses. Please. Not a good idea. And so Loki is the ruler of Earth because the Avengers don't exist anymore. And of course the Avengers you would say they exist in the timeline that we know and love because Loki threatens Earth in the first place. So it's kind of like the Avengers exist because of Loki. Loki succeeds because the Avengers don't exist. But then Nick Fury, near the end of the film, he says he's not the only Avenger left. He sends out a message to Captain Marvel, who does turn up at the end, and I'm guessing, I assume that after the events of the episode, she kicks Loki's ass and sends him packing, but we don't get to see that, unfortunately. I would have liked to have seen Captain Marvel play a bigger part physically in the show, but it wasn't the original voice actor. The same as Tony Stark wasn't the original. Although he did voice Iron Man in the animated series, or a animated series, which is quite cool. Black Widow also wasn't the original voice actress, which is a bit annoying, but I'm still very happy with the actors that they got, which I've already mentioned, as well as loads of others. Michael Douglas being quite a big one. Pretty good. So it shows you just the fact that the cast is that big. It shows you that these shows, the What If series, is still a very big deal. Just because it's animated and just because it's a cartoon doesn't mean you shouldn't take it seriously. I really think you should take this show seriously. And it was just another very enjoyable episode. I don't know. I think this third episode was better than the first episode. Just because we got to see a much huger roster of characters. And its connections to like all the films. Pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like I enjoyed the second episode just a little bit more, though. But I'm very excited to see the fourth episode. I don't even know what the fourth episode is about, but I'll leave that as a surprise for myself. And let me know what you guys think of this video and my review, my bit of a breakdown. And let me know if you want me to do more of these. It's obviously new to me, so go easy. Comment down below what you thought of this. And also, I would like to know, if anyone's interested enough to do this, give me your idea of a What If episode in the comment section. And comedians are invited to come along and put their most ridiculous suggestions. Maybe if Iron Man literally just sat at home and ironed all day. Something like that. That just pulled out the top of my head. But yeah, you get the idea. Thanks for watching, and catch me on my next one, please. If you're a fan of The Walking Dead, I'm also reviewing the entire final season of that. I do a lot of Gears 5 content. That's my biggest chunk of content on my YouTube. I'm also on Twitch, so please follow me on there if you want to see my gaming stuff. Thank you, and have a lovely day.